Hello and welcome once again to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be working off the idea of a brief. Now this is a character called Ollie Flittrick who I used to draw for The Dandy, which is a British children's comic. It no longer exists, but the character was created, or rather the concept was created by a guy called Craig Graham, who was then a staff writer, went on to become editor and has since risen an awful lot higher. Now he, as I said, created the idea of the character. He's like a skater dude, should we say, and I worked on the likeness, so between us we created this character. It became very popular. But anyway, the idea of, like I say, this is to show you how you work off a brief. Now this is a redrawing of a panel I did, I don't know, maybe about 10-15 years ago, difficult to say really. And the idea of the story was Ollie was in a rush to get somewhere, from what I can imagine, and because I like to draw action, Craig liked to give me scripts where action was involved, so I could really stretch myself, should we say. So Ollie was in a rush, as I say, to get somewhere, and he'd say things like Ollie is jumping over some cars, or is zooming past people, or making old ladies jump out the way. And so I had to do sort of each panel became a brief, shall we say. So I sort of drew Ollie in all these various positions and angles and what have you. But the one that I really enjoyed, probably the most on the entire page, was when he had to leap over the park bench. Now to me, to have that, I couldn't just have him leaping over the park bench. Everything had to be all about action. So as we look at the picture here, you can see that I've got him at an angle whereby he appears to have jumped. Now you can't see that yet because you don't know what's coming. I'm going to draw the park bench in and what have you. But to me, each individual component of the picture, whether that be the character, the bench, his skateboard, the litter bin which is next to it, everything is a separate component, should we say, but together, collectively, they make an action scene. And that's what you have in here. So I've drawn Ollie, and you can see that he's sort of leaping or jumping forward or making that kind of an action. His hat has come, or his helmet has come slightly off his head, so therefore, and his one foot is really projected out in front. His left foot is projected out in front, and there we have it. There we have Ollie leaping. Now comes the next stage, which is the park bench. I draw this in a kind of a box section. You can see here, like there you go, we got this shape, the general shape of the park bench, and from there I work on imagining it like an invisible box has been put over it. It just helps me when it comes to design the entire bench. So that's the rough shape. But even with the park bench, as it was, that's, to me, if you're showing movement, you're showing action, and I will reiterate this over and over and over again in any video that I do that talks about action, is that it's not just the main character that portrays action. Ollie maybe look like he's moving, and I'm sure he does look like he's moving to you, but if you don't put the objects that are around him also in movements, then it's going to look very stiff. Because if you thump your hand on a table, the objects that are on the table tend to move, and that's what gives the impression of action. And this is also a way that you can draw pictures without having to do all the zoom lines and sound effects, and to me that's a much better way of doing it. So here we go, we got Ollie, he's leaping. You can now see where the park bench is. I'm sorry if I don't get all the pencil lines in. I thought I'd filmed it correctly, but it's very difficult when you've just got the phone and you're trying to do everything by hand and concentrate on what you're doing. I am a man after all, and multitasking is not a natural state of mind for me. But there you go, very, very rough, very, very nice, very quick layout, and there we have a park bench. This is what the litter bin I told you about. Now we could have it just jumping up in the air, but why would you do that? Stick it at an angle, put it at a nice little angle there. Now it's flying out of the way now. It's not just jumping in the air, it's flying out of his way. Now we have action. Now I could have just had him leaping with his skateboard in his hand, going over the bench, but I didn't want to do that. Here we go, look, here's a line of action for you. So the park bench is up in the air. Here comes his skateboard. Now it's just given the picture a little bit more interest. Like I say, the brief may very well have been just Ollie leaps over a park bench or something. The rest of it is down to me. Craig knew that. I mean, he knew to sort of leave me fairly. He didn't have to worry about what it was that I was going to produce. So in no time at all, we've got this nice little action scene where Ollie's obviously come off the skateboard, is coming out the other end. I know it's a bit further away from him. Technically, probably may not be able to get to it, but he will get to it. It's a cartoon, so you've got to suspend a certain amount of belief. And then that was it. That was the picture. The next half of the video is going to be me speeded up, just drawing the inking the cartoon with just an old pen. I would have used a brush in the early days, but for this one it was a little bit different. So enjoy the speed up version, and I'll see you next week where I'll be doing another tutorial. In the meantime, please subscribe, hit the like button, share it, let everyone know about it, all the usual stuff, hit that bell, and keep coming back for more. Thank you very much. See you next week.